Here we are. What's happening, St. Steph?
Oh, welcome to the RANT.
Welcome to the RANT.
Yes, Radically Affirmative New Thought, real conversations.
Yes, love it.
Love it.
Love it. I'm Dr. Johnathan Zenz. I am the spiritual leader here at Unity of Tucson.
Yes.
And who are you?
I'm St. Steph, or Steph St. Amand, and I'm the spiritual director with One Love Awakening. And that's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah, that is what we do. So where is One Love Awakening?
One Love Awakening.
You're virtual.
Yes, we are an online virtual community that meets on Zoom or in other spaces and environments like Facebook and YouTube. And we gather together. We're just a group of beautiful, wonderful people walking each other home on this crazy path of life.
Yes. And you're physically located, though, in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
That's right.
Up in the Great White North.
Yes.
And I am physically located in the southwestern part of the United States. But we have been friends for more than a decade now.
Yeah.
Exploring this thing called spiritual life and spiritual practice together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what is the RANT? Tell me about what the RANT is.
The RANT is radically affirmative new thought. I think that new thought in general, it has been around for, a couple hundred years. And we've stopped adding new thinking to new thought. And there's also this this thing where, true oneness and absolute wholeness, radical living is the expression that I want to have in the world. And so a lot of stuff is still, we're very surface orientated about our healing, about our journeys, and radically affirmative new thought, or the RANT, is diving deeper, getting below the surface and really getting out the muck and the mire so that we can raise it up and raise it up.
I love that. One of the things that I frequently talk about with my community is not allowing ourselves to be overridden by the circumstances of our lives, that we are the creators of the circumstances of our lives. But you're absolutely right on. Like, we get so kind of like obsessed with trying to manipulate or coerce the circumstances to our liking. And I think we do it at the expense of remembering sometimes, oh, wait, my thoughts, my beliefs, my feelings, all of that is creating the circumstances of my life. So I don't have to manipulate the circumstances. I have to address what I'm thinking and feeling. Yes. And what those beliefs are. And that, as I address that, what unfolds is magnificence. In fact, that's why here at Unity of Tucson, one of our taglines that we try to get everyone to take it to heart is, you are magnificent. I am magnificent. And I know you, Steph, are magnificent.
I know. Unity's mission statement, Unity of Tucson,
which I totally stole. I borrowed with blessings.
Borrowed with blessings, right?
Yes.
So love only, forgive everything.
Yes. Remember who
you are. Like that. Yes. What a beautiful mission, right? To love only, so it of course resonates with me. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. This is the journey of life, to love what is unfolding before you, the sticky and the sweet, and forgive everything because there's nothing to forgive, and remember who you are because you're freaking divine.
Right. Absolutely. At the end of the day, we're freaking divine.
Freaking divine. Yes.
We're freaking divine.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to some of the people who are watching with us. Anita, I love this. Anita is saying that she's having deja vu, having seen both of us already this morning. Yes, we do also have our independent live streams each morning. Grateful to see you, Anita, this morning. Peg, delightful to see you. Let's go. Yes. Sherry giving us some claps. This is probably on one of our channels that you have to give permission for your name to be seen. So I'm not sure who the Facebook user is, but love right back to you. And Marvis, grateful to see you. Hi. Love the mission statement. Yes. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And what a gift to be present. Yes. Well, your presence is a gift to us. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah. So one of the things that Steph and I were talking about when we were thinking about what we wanted to say this morning, you had an idea about what was coming up for you in your life. So tell me about that.
Just the main premise of it is the cost associated with indecision and procrastination, right? So for me, living from a place of indecision, I feel like I'm giving my power away. And, like even, oh, what do you want to watch? I don't know. What do you want to watch? Like even that level, I mean, how much time does it cost us to be indecisive? How much time or how much money does it cost us to be indecisive? Like, all of that stuff. So the premise of giving your power away when we are living from a place of indecision.
So true. So when you mentioned that, I looked over and I'm sitting at my desk at my office at Unity of Tucson. And of course, on my desk, always within arm's reach, is this book, The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. And this book in particular, this is actually an old, the newer editions of it don't even look like this anymore. But this is the book. If people are brand new to the New Thought philosophy and they say, well, what should I read? What do you recommend? How do I get more information? I always say, this is the first book to read. This book for me encapsulates the whole philosophy in such a tremendous way and is an invitation also into action in our lives. And that's what I love about this book. But he has a whole chapter 2 on indecision. And it starts like this. Success and failure are the results of the use of mind. Success-motivated mind has been a decisive mind. Every failure-motivated mind has been an indecisive mind. So it kind of goes exactly with what you're talking about. Oh, Nana's asking what the title is again. The Power of Decision. It's written by Raymond Charles Barker. And my label there with my name on it, so nobody takes my copy, covers up his name a little bit. But The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. So here's my question that comes up out of that. If success and failure are the results of the use of mind, what do you, and this is for everyone, if you want to put something into the comments to answer this question, what do you see as successful? What do you see as successful?
Oh, yes. Great question.
Yeah. Anita has a question.
So individualized.
Right. Anita has a question. And as people answer the question we've just posed, perhaps we can look at this. Aren't you being genuine in your indecision, though? Isn't it still using our power to acknowledge that we authentically don't have an opinion? What do you think about that?
I think if that statement is true, then that statement is true. I know for myself that being indecisive means I'm either compromising or settling, or there's something else behind the indecisiveness for me. And it's usually appeasing another person or, being a people pleaser. So we have an absolute definitive thing inside of us that knows something about whatever it is. Do I want chocolate cake or vanilla ice cream? Your first response is the truth. Well, then you put you totally can. You put the ice cream on the chocolate cake. Why does there even have to be a decision? So, but we have something in us that is our preference. And if we're making a decision with other people, like it's a group decision-making process, we're probably saying, I don't know, because we don't want to step on eggshells, or we don't want to push buttons or things like that. So there's so much more to unpack in that statement for me.
Yeah, I think, Anita has followed it up, and I just want to acknowledge, I think there are times in our lives when we truly don't have an opinion, and that's okay too. Like there are definitely times in my life when I truly don't have an opinion. Anita wrote, I haven't read that book, but sometimes we really don't have an opinion. So we choose to sit back and let the other person choose, or we don't know what we want to choose yet. We need time, more information, etc. And I actually have a way that we can address this. Of course, I don't carry cash anymore in my life. We're in a society where we don't carry cash, but if you had a coin and you
Mhm.
were given the choice, heads or tails of your decision, flip the coin, and if it comes up with one and you feel disappointed, then you actually did have an opinion about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's one way to perhaps approach decision making. So going back to the question about success, we said, what do you see as successful? And thank you, Anita, for that. I love that, we're getting to like riff off of what people are responding to. Sherry offers this: success for me is looking at my life and being able to say that most of the things I am experiencing are joyful. Well, that's a lovely
Lovely.
definition of success. I love that idea. So what else is coming up for anyone? What do you see as successful? I think joyful living is a successful life.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of my course, True Prosperity, because people often sign up for that class thinking we're going to work on becoming more prosperous financially, when really what the whole course is that the true prosperity is that you are the abundant. You are
right.
the prosperous. You are that divine spark that is that glory and in that grace. So,
yeah. Well, and that goes right back to what I started with, which is people join a prosperity course because they want to manipulate the circumstances to make more money.
right.
And what we learn in prosperity consciousness is that it is consciousness.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's why I walk around going, I'm $1 million. I'm $1 million.
I am $1 million.
Yeah.
Love always wins law. Okay.
Yes.
And maybe indecision is really fear of failure. Tell me about that, Steph.
Fear of failure.
Be good to yourself.
Oh, well, for sure. Sitting on the fence of something great, right? It is. I don't really stress about fear of failure. I fear success. That's where that's the fence where I'm on. So because it's that if I do good, then I have to continuously do good, even if that just was for a moment. It could have just been good for that moment. So in maybe indecision, it's really fear of failure. That absolutely, I could totally see that, because you don't want to make the wrong decision. And we are in a society that embeds within us, in our growing up, shame and guilt, and that, are we going to disappoint other people? Are we going to disappoint our family and our friends? So making decisions is really solidifying something.
You just used a phrase, though. You used a term that I want to question, and that is, we don't want to make the wrong decision. Well, who determines what is a right and a wrong decision?
Well, it's done to us as we believe. So the good and the bad decision is only within me. It's only within my thinking. The divine presence is operating and functioning perfectly all the time. It doesn't know the difference between good and bad. Our human experience brings us to that, all those labels. And, for agreements and books like that, they're talking about domestication. We have been domesticated. We have been indoctrinated into this field of human experience, and for different cultures and different ways of being. And so, yeah, that's we're taught to label everything. We're taught to label everything.
Right?
Everything.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Boy, we're really good at labeling.
Yeah.
Peg has an answer. Success is having right thinking combined with right action, being my best self the majority of the time. I think it's a glorious,
yes,
it's a glorious definition of what it is to be successful. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
it's like you're about to say something.
Oh, yeah. I was just gonna talk to our beautiful audience, and like, where are you feeling your level of confidence in decision making? Are you good at decisions when they're easy and small, or do you excel at making big decisions? Like, sometimes, like, I'm little decisions for me, I'm like, oh my God, there's just too many little decisions. But in a crisis, I am calm, collected, and I can get things completely done in like beautiful fashion. But it's like that decision fatigue in a day, right? I even use that to help me guide my food, because as an ex-compulsive overeater, I did not have the mind that could make decisions about good, healthy decisions about my food intake. So I weigh and measure everything so that I don't have to decide anymore those little things, because there's so many different decisions we have to make in a day.
Yes. And that is too in and of itself a decision. Right? I think the thing that comes up too is we're never not making decisions. We make a lot of decisions below the level of awareness, and those decisions are having full impact on the flow of our lives. And I think we just get lost in those decisions where it's like, oh, it feels, here's the thing, we feel weight around the decisions that we have to be active in making. And I think that we can always allow ourselves to alleviate the weight. That's part of the practice. So how are ways you might alleviate the weight of decision making in your life? What are some things that you use? What are some spiritual practices that you use?
Spiritual mind treatment before any big decision, any meeting, anything.
And I want to acknowledge, sorry, I'm going to break in for just a moment. When we say the words spiritual mind treatment, that is a jargon term specific to the religious science movement. And what it means essentially is affirmative prayer.
Yes.
That we are praying from the point of view of divine inspiration. So I just wanted to clarify, because not everybody always has that thought. So anyway, spiritual mind treatment.
Educate. Yes. I like calling it prayer meditation, because for me, it really feels like that. I'm calming the waters.
Yes.
For my mind.
And a lot of people think that in Unity that we don't teach treatment, and it's true, we don't teach it specifically in the same way. But Charles Fillmore is specific about what treatment is, and I'm going to go to this book real quick, because this is basically his little, it's like a little dictionary of terms that he wrote. And he actually has an entry for the word treatment. I just have to get to it. Treatment. Here's how he defines treatment, because I think if you're in religious science, you know what treatment is. I mean, spend a lot of time. He writes this: treatment is spiritual realization of God's truth for oneself or another, spiritual process or prayer by which one receives the healing power of God. Now, I want to get really clear. We have evolved past some of the dualistic language that Charles uses. So let's just acknowledge that there's some dualism in the language. We can reframe the dualism into the language of unified wholeness. A treatment is a prayer of faith and understanding for healing, harmony, wisdom, prosperity, or any other good desired. Its object is to raise the consciousness of the one being treated to a high spiritual consciousness through which healing is accomplished.
Yes. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Yes. But the reason that I wanted to bring that up is because that, as a spiritual practice for addressing indecision in our lives, I think is a really powerful one.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the things that spiritual mind treatment and affirmative prayer does for me, I know I'm like all of a sudden dominating all of it. I apologize. One of the things that spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer does for me is it opens me up past what I perceive as the limitation, because sometimes I get so focused on an idea that this is the only thing I see, and I forget, all of this is available. And so treatment, affirmative prayer, allows me, and it is a welcoming into an opening of the limitations I've set in my own mind.
Yeah, it's making your mind, your body, an open and safe environment for the good that you're seeking to enter in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just
Peg has something.
Oh yes, Peg.
Yeah, Peg has something to offer. On the biggie decisions, looking back on many decades of big decisions, I have realized no matter what I decided, that I have arrived where I am supposed to be. Oh, it's beautiful. That realization lessens the worry about choosing A or B.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up another perhaps question. Can you ever make the wrong decision?
Yeah. You know, there's a natural state. There's a natural beingness that's happening in us. So if we get our bloated nothingness out of the way and think we're making a wrong decision or think we're making a right decision, then we're allowing that the nature of who we are to express itself as the divine intelligent mind. Just like, say, wild turkeys know exactly how to be a wild turkey. They don't fight within themselves. Oh, I don't want to be a wild turkey today. They just express as that. And I think that if we can get to that place of faith within ourselves to know who we are, then every decision we make isn't really a decision. It's a step forward on the path we're on.
Yeah. I think, too, the only way we can conceptualize wrong decisions is to think that once we've made a decision, that's it. There's no other alternative.
Yeah.
And I think if we make a decision and the outflow of that decision is not to our liking, well, let's empower ourselves to remember, oh, that didn't work in the way that I would like my life to unfold. So now I'm going to step into something new. So for me, I can never make a wrong decision. I can make decisions that I can remake.
Yeah.
But it's never the wrong decision.
Wasn't it Raymond Charles Barker who said, I reserve the right to change my mind?
It was Charles Fillmore.
Charles Fillmore. And it was one of those.
I don't think that's, but I don't think it's not an exclusive idea either.
Yeah. But those thoughts, I mean, I like you were just saying, if I'm stuck in something, if I'm set in something, this is what I have to do. And now it's all work and everything. I think another important piece of it is having people around you that are supporting you in celebrating every decision you make, no matter what their opinion of that decision is, right? I was feeling some stuff just the other day, and I was in my stuff. I was clearly the hamster going, these are all the things I have to do about this one thing. And my beloved spouse and co-minister Tammy, just in 3 seconds of just reframing that, and it's already done. Like the anxiety that I had within my body just melted away. I was like, oh, right. It's already done. I don't I just one step at a time. You don't have to eat the whole buffet. Just grab a strawberry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started with indecision.
Yes.
We've moved into conceptualizing what might be right or wrong decisions. And I love what Sherry says here. If I accept the concept that everything is divine, then nothing is wrong. It is only my human perception that something is not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where perhaps we've all arrived. Really looking at what is our human perception, what is and when we talk about human perception, it really is when we're narrowing the conception to a limited idea. And I'm saying, here's the rant today. We're going to get into some radically affirmative new thought. Let's really break down those limitations once and for all, in mind and in heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. That, you know what? What that says to me is that I think we should pray.
I'm open to pray. You know me, I'm always ready to pray.
Okay, I'll start. You finish.
All right. You got it.
And we'll meet in the middle.
We'll meet in the middle.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So powerful decision makers. This is who we are. This is the breath of the divine breathing. This is me remembering I'm spirit. This is me knowing and trusting with absolute faith that there is only one. one power, one presence, one divine, infinite, intelligent mind that is expressing and expanding upon the very nature of its own being. And I be that. I get to be that. I get to live in divinity. I get to be sourced and supplied by an unlimited, untouched expression of wholeness, of oneness. And so I know that within me is the mind of the divine, and everything that I am tapped into, aligned with, is for my highest and greatest good. I need not worry about any decision making. I need not worry about any processes, for I know that I am already in the system of the beloved, expressing and expanding upon the very natural nature of being that is within me. Every step I take is motivated by divine certainty, and every powerful decision I make solidifies the moreness of who I am in my awareness of that divine and holy thing that sparks within me and sparks within all people. And joyfully in this spark, I share the light with the beloved that is Johnathan.
Yes, and I receive that light and I affirm the light, and I know wholeheartedly beyond a shadow of a doubt that every decision is rooted in this divine identity that I am, that we are, that each and every one of us is, that there is a consistent flow of magnificence that is always unfolding. And so I am in alignment with the flow at all times. And in this understanding, I know that there's absolutely no aspect of decision making that is not pure, perfect, whole, and complete in the expression of it. And I know that in this evolutionary unfoldment, that there is always the opportunity for more, for more, for more. And so I live in the infinite flow of the good, and I do so with a magnificently grateful heart, allowing myself to overflow with the appreciation of this moment, this experience, this understanding, this radically affirmative new thought. I live in gratitude for this, and I simply let it be as I relax, trust, allow the flow to unfold. I release this word as the law. It is the law unto my life, and I accept it as such wholeheartedly, no matter what. And I affirm it by saying, and so it is.
It is. And so it is.
And so it is, yes.
Well, that was a lot of fun. We are coming up on half an hour. Thank you to every person who has engaged in this. If you're watching on the replay, hit that hashtag replay and let us know what your thoughts are on this topic of decisiveness. And like,
subscribe, and follow.
Like, subscribe, and follow, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. Peace and blessings to you all. We look forward to seeing you. So again, we are here. I'm going to throw it up on the screen. We are here the first Friday of the month, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 11:30 a.m. Central Time, and always delighted to share with you this rant, Radically Affirmative New Thought.
Yes.
We'll see you all next month, everybody. Bye.
Peace and blessings.